castle looks smaller from up front than from far away.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
How is that working? The weather right now in Tokyo is changing a lot. This night at 4 a.m. we got like flood warning, I guess. So with the clouds going by, the ISO and the lighting in my room here might also change. For those of you who don't know me, hey, I'm Hani. I'm an art student here in Tokyo, and yeah, I went to Tokyo Disney Sea already and I actually loved it, and it was my first Disney experience ever. This time I went to Tokyo Disneyland, which I guess wasn't my first Disney experience ever then, but my first Tokyo Disneyland experience, since even though I'm from Europe, I haven't been like to Tokyo Disneyland Paris or anything. So everything I'm gonna say is just solely based on my experience in Tokyo Disneyland and not comparing it to all the other Disney resorts around the world or anything. And I also want to preface this that A, I'm not sponsored by Disney, and B, I'm also not like a Disney hardcore fan. Like, of course, when I was small, I was watching those animated movies about the princesses, so I know all of them and I know, I guess, their stories and everything. I am not, however, the person who stands in the gift shop and spends all their coins on like Disney merch or like is super obsessed about everything that Disney says or does. And I'm also a bit critical about Disney in general, which sounds hypocritical because I just went to Disneyland. But yeah, sometimes you need to see for yourself what all the hype is about before you can make a judgment, I think. So today I'm going to make a judgment after seeing it for myself. So yeah, I hope you stay tuned for that, which is starting now. Okay. You made it. Great. I have open here right now with me the Tokyo Disney Resort app. I think whether you choose to go to Disney Sea or Disneyland, download this app. You may need it, like, I think you need it for a ticket, first of all. And second of all, you can look at all the rides, foods, and attractions there. You can do the raffles for the shows, which sadly we didn't get a show this time, even though we were there at 8:30 a.m. on like a Wednesday, which is even before opening time and everything. So we were there super early, but it was still, of course, clouded. Like, there was so much going on there. And it certainly wasn't as crowded as Tokyo Disney Sea on a Saturday, which was the last time I went. But it was still a lot of people. And like you saw in the club in the beginning, the first thing I noticed is how small that castle is. I don't know why. I live like in Chiba actually, so I sometimes go like can bike down to the beach there and have a look like across the Tokyo Bay at Tokyo Disneyland. And when I look there, it always looks so big. Like you see that castle from really far away. But then when you're actually there, the castle is so small. And I don't know, that seems like, I don't know, some weird magic is going on. Actually, the first thing we did after going in, because I went with an experienced friend, yeah, a tip, go with a person who already has been to Tokyo Disney if you want to have all the intels while going there already. And she was like, we gotta rush to the Beauty and the Beast ride, which is one of the latest rides that they added to Tokyo Disneyland, and it's the most frequented ride, so that's the ride with the longest wait time. And so we went there. Bear in mind, we're there before opening on a Wednesday. We straight away went to that ride, and the waiting time was from the first minute 2 hours. So we chose not to wait 2 or 3 hours because time is money, and we were like, maybe in the afternoon we can go again, and instead went to do some of the other rides, which we didn't have to wait long for at all. I think we started with the Snow White one, which is pretty close, which was actually scarier than you expect. I don't know, for Snow White, I thought they might be a little bit more colorful and comedic, but like with the dwarfs and everything, but it was more like a horror ride where the witch was hunting you, I guess. Not like horror, but I saw a few kids coming out there crying, so yes, bear in mind, it's a little bit scary. And we also did the Peter Pan ride, which also was nice, but for my feeling, it was a little bit short. But yeah, well, I mean, there's a billion rides in Tokyo Disney. I'm gonna talk about a few of my favorites today and the ones that I think you should visit as well. Then we also did the Teacups.
And remember to watch the children!
The Alice in Wonderland Teacups, which I guess are infamous, but they nearly made me barf. I can't handle spinning things, I don't know. So I was like, okay, let's not do that again. Then we went to Big Thunder Mountain, which is also one of the more popular rides in Tokyo Disney. We didn't do Splash Mountain, because I'm also kind of scared of going down like that way, but like Thunder Mountain was also like, what's it called, a roller coaster, but I felt like that was a roller coaster that even I could enjoy and ride, even though I hate riding roller coasters. Maybe I'm not the best person to review theme parks because I'm scared for roller coasters, and not only scared, but also like I just can't handle it, like my stomach can't handle it, I don't know why. But really, like, Thunder Mountain was so fun. It was the right amount of thrill, but still not too much that I felt any time like I was like gonna barf or felt in danger or anything. It was just the perfect roller coaster for someone like me. So I think that really it's a roller coaster that nearly anybody can enjoy, if we take me as like the low base of enjoyment for roller coasters. And we also went to the Haunted House, which, looking back, I think the Haunted House is my number 2 favorite ride. I'm gonna have my top 3. Number two here, it was the haunted house. It's not really, well, it is a ride, but you first go in and you get like expelled to this story and they explain to you, yeah, like this guy died here and like the whole backstory, which of course, if you go to Tokyo Disneyland, everything is always going to be in Japanese. Like sometimes they do have voiceovers that are like the original English scenes or something, but most of the time and every time they tell stories, it's mostly only in Japanese. My Japanese now is good enough that I could understand everything, so I feel like if you go in there with like N4 and 3 basic Japanese, you should be able to get like everything that they tell you. Like we even did this one weird thing, which was like, I think Stitch's Adventure. Like, do you know Lilo and Stitch? Like, I think that's such a weird specific like Disney thing to mention in the park. It was like a whole story or like audience interactive, which was great because we were the foreigners, so we weren't asked anything. But it was kind of like funny because they were really like, how's it called? They're really like calling out these people in the audience, like really making fun of them and with them. It was actually, even though it was cringe because it was audience interaction, it was actually kind of fun. Yes, anyway, back to the haunted house one. I'm just very impressed whenever they do those animatronic things really well, and that was one of those rides where you felt like in a movie set. It was incredible. I felt like it was so fun, so amazing. The waiting time was a bit longer as well. I think we waited 30 minutes, but I would say those 30 minutes were worth it. Then we had mochi, because if you go to Tokyo Disney and you haven't tried those alien mochi, did you really go to Tokyo Disney? They were amazing. My favorite is strawberry. It's like strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. I would say the rating is strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. My friend would rate it chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. So vanilla always goes at the bottom. I don't know. For lunch, we went, where did we go? I want to tell you the right amazing thing. I mean, there's many restaurants, but some of them really do have long wait times, and honestly, we can't be bothered. It's like, you wait for all the rides, and that's the thing you want to wait for. I don't want to wait for my food, you know? We went to Tomorrowland Terrace, where they offer burgers, and we had like the Baymax burger that was there on special. I would say it was actually better than expected. I mean, it's a burger. I don't feel like Disney could do a lot wrong there, and we took the special because of the small face on it. So yeah, it was actually pretty good, I'd say. And then we were off again to the next rides. We also did like then the whole like west side of the park. Is it even west? I don't know the sky directions. But we went to the side where it was like the jungle adventure float thing, and we did the whole like train ride around the park. I think there's also a saying that's always like, yeah, Tokyo Disneyland is more for the kids and Tokyo Disney Sea is more for adults. I didn't feel left out at Tokyo Disneyland. I didn't feel like it was only for kids, and I didn't feel like there were only kids there. Rather, I'd say there were more adults and like couples than kids on the day that we went, even though it was a Wednesday. It was a hot day. We had an ice cream. I had the mini berry ice cream. It was delicious. We also went into the castle, of course. It's like the Cinderella castle, and inside it's more like an exhibition about small art pieces telling the Cinderella story. And then you also get into the throne room where you can pose with the like shoe and the throne. I would rate the Cinderella Castle a 3 out of 10. It's not only smaller than expected, I also didn't much enjoy the exhibition, even though it was nice to see all of those different like art types that they try to show there, or like different artists. And of course, I'm sure that like it's like nice and special meaning, of course. I'm not trying to judge it, I just think it could have been done better, maybe. I'm gonna talk about Beauty and the Beast, the ride that was most frequented. Always 2 hours wait, and we were like, I mean, time is money. We're gonna pay the 2,000 yen for the fast pass. And we got in quicker, and I don't know, I felt like an asshole actually, because we were skipping all of those people who were waiting in the heat like for 2 hours. And I was spending so much money on the ticket on Tokyo Disney already, so I was feeling kind of bad. But then again, if you're there and really time is money, then I don't want to spend my time standing there. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to justify myself. We did it, okay? We did it. We bought the fast pass and we got in faster. Starts with like a whole frequency, like where you go in, and then there's this sequence where the dolls come out, like the Beast and Belle, and like they have this converse.
昔々遠い国の輝くお城に
And then you actually get into the ride, which is like also you ride in those teacups. My friend was down, she was like, this is the best ride. For me, it is at place 3 of my ride ranking system here. Because even though I thought it was really nice, maybe I'm not too much of a Beauty and the Beast fan to enjoy it on the level that if you were a Beauty and the Beast fan, you would enjoy it. Also, I felt, again, like because we were in teacups and they were spinning all the time, that I was just getting a bit sick. Like, I hate when it's spinning too much. I just rather would go through a ride like the the ghost thing where you just go straight or like curve around, but it's not like you turn around while going forward. You had all the music and everything. It was all the Japanese music though, which was great, but the English one is better. Yeah, I think that is one thing that took me out of it again as well. And I just felt like there was a little bit of unrealized potential. I feel like I'm getting destroyed in the comments of everybody who was there because it's everybody's favorite ride, but I don't share that opinion. I mean, I put the fucking ghost house over Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, drum roll. My favorite ride, or do I have any other rides I need to go? Before we get to my favorite ride, we also went to the Winnie the Pooh ride, which was great because I actually love Winnie the Pooh, so I was more emotionally invested than Beauty and the Beast. We waited long and it wasn't as great. They had like this whole dream sequence with the like pink elephants, and I felt like they should have cut that out and rather have like a wholesome ride about like the adventures that you can have in the forest there, and like the Winnie the Pooh like stories and like quotes and everything. I think that would have been better to have it more wholesome than to have this whole weird part in it. However, this was the only money I spent at a gift shop. I did buy Winnie the Pooh merch because I'm a weak person. Food wise, we also of course had a cinnamon, I don't know, we also had like an apple cinnamon thing. They have so many different flavors. We didn't try popcorn, even though popcorn is all over the park. And we did see the lunchtime parade for a bit. So now my favorite ride was the Pirates of the Caribbean. The Pirates of the Caribbean was my favorite ride. And I'm not even like such a big fan of the movies. But that ride, I think we went out of that ride and I was just, my jaw was on the floor for another half an hour because I was so awestruck by, I can't comprehend. I still can't put it into words. I've been trying to tell different people about this ride, but I can't put into words how much this amazed me. I'm the kind of person, if I go into Disney, my friend's like, you need to go into the Disney spirit, let the Disney magic wash over you. I'm like, I'm gonna analyze everything, and if I don't understand how it works, then like, what is even the point of it? Like, I want to know how they technically make these things. I want to know how much this costs. I want to know how environmentally friendly it is actually to have all these rides running all day. I mean, those are weird questions, but that's the joy in me for going to theme parks. I like to overanalyze them. And this ride, I couldn't for the life of myself figure out how they made this. Like, it's like this whole underground sea thing where you go through and it's inside but it feels like outside and you're inside the movie set, and there's the Johnny Depp dolls all look like Johnny Depp and like act like Johnny Depp, and it's like Johnny Depp is there but it's obviously a doll, and it's like you go through and it's all these special effects that are coming at the right time. It's the best ride in Disney. I rest my case. Kudos to everybody who worked on it. Kudos. You know, we had a Grandma Sarah's Kitchen where you can eat omelette rice. I had the omelette seafood rice, which I guess is like a very brave choice. But somehow I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try that. In the end, I should have tried the special because it also had cake, but I didn't. But it was actually surprisingly nice. Like, for a person who ordered a seafood omurice at Disney, you must think I'm crazy, but it was actually very good. I would rate it actually an 8 out of 10. And then it was finally time for the evening parade, which I think it was called Electrical Parade or something. Tokyo Disneyland Electrical Parade Dreamlights. We were there half an hour early, getting seats next to screaming children. It wasn't as long as I expected. I felt like the parade at noon actually was longer in time and had like a little bit more of like action as well. This one was more like really the carriages and the people on top of the carriages. I did, however, appreciate how diverse the casting was. Like, Aladdin and like Jasmine were actually Indian, and I felt like that was really cool. Parade gets a 9 out of 10. Anyway, closing this review, in total I would say Tokyo Disneyland is just as great as Tokyo Disney Sea, and Tokyo Disney Sea is also great. I'm not gonna say it's the best experience ever, and you definitely have to do it when you go to Tokyo, but if you enjoy Disney, or even if you don't, like, I don't really enjoy Disney, but I had a great time, a great day. I think if you go to Tokyo Disney, you should go on a weekday. Because you don't want to spend all of your time waiting. That's just a waste of time then. So if you can schedule it, then maybe schedule it on a less busy day. I think it is worth an experience, and I also think it's actually worth the money that they charge, even though it is a lot of money. But if you look at all the electronics in there, like, I know Disney has a lot of money, but I hope that some of that money that I paid goes to the amazing people who concepted that, or like who did the work and who built the dolls, because that's just jaw-dropping. It's like art in its own way, you know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with another one soon. Have a nice day, have a nice night wherever you are, and bye me back on my channel. Why is my aircon spitting water at me?